700 studios in Southern California, presented by Turtlebox Audio. Find their incredible lineup of portable speakers, turtleboxaudio.com. And a thank you always to Harry Arnett, Mark Wahlberg, and everybody at Municipal for being the official wardrobe sponsor of Offside Sports. That's right, we're looking good because of Municipal. Bet on yourself. Find them at municipal.com. And if you are a member of the Municipal family already, send us a screenshot of you in your Municipal gear. We'll let our worldwide TV and radio audience see how good you look wearing it. Send your screenshots to Sean, S-E-A-N Mercer, at SullyENTGroup.com. We're all huge NFL fans.
Yes.
To think that we're almost a month away from training camps.
Crazy.
It's
so fast all of a sudden. I was thinking games in 2 months.
All right, did your parents tell you when you were little, oh, wait till you get older. Time just flies by. Because remember how long the time was between summer, getting out for summer and then going back to school? It seemed like ages, right?
Yeah.
Now it's, you're back.
Yes.
Same with the NFL season. You lament the Super Bowl being over, and then you're like, oh my God, it's back. We're a month away from the games. How do you guys feel about the international game phenomenon as far as the NFL is concerned? Dave?
Not a fan of it as all of everything that happens in the NFL and how much money they make. It frustrates me that we're in a situation where we're catering to business at all times. And we just talked about business. Sounds like I'm with the Brittany Griner move all of a sudden. That's not exactly what's going on. The NFL makes so much money, right? It makes so much money, like $50 billion a year. The reason I'm not a fan of a number of different things, it's a long season. And so you can look at it and say, you know, well, what about my team? How well would they do? I really don't care about the players so much for the fact I'm not a player, but I care about my team winning. And so let's say you're a fan of the Los Angeles Chargers. The Chargers travel 38,000 miles this year. The Cincinnati Bengals travel 8,000 miles. Okay, Chargers lose a home game this year because they have to go to Brazil to play the Chiefs to start the season. You only get one bye week. Well, when are the Chargers supposed to make up for this? I mean, injuries are part of the game. You're just increasing, to me, your chances of being tired and having injuries by putting all this extra travel into it for a team like the Chargers. It used to be when the games were only in the United States, the team that got ripped off all the time was the Seattle Seahawks because they weren't close to anything. But now you're taking teams like the Chargers or the Raiders where it's a long, long trip.
Yeah, I agree. I think for the players, it's terrible. The time away from home, the injury factor, the rest factor, the fatigue, all of it. I think it's way too much to ask of players that are already so injury prone. I don't love it for them. I think that it's irresponsible to ask that of the players. I really do. And I'm surprised that the NFL Players Association isn't making a bigger deal about it at this point.
You know, you think about the Chargers going down to play the Chiefs in Brazil, and I just wonder if the Chargers are going to get waxed. It's going to be a crazy game. Dave got it. Anyhow, when you look at NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell, NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell was recently on CNBC's CEO Summit, some panel or something, and they're going to make $1 billion alone off of those games that they're playing overseas this year. Allison, Dublin, Germany,
Madrid,
Brazil, and a couple.
Yeah, there's like 5, I think.
Okay, 5 games is going to net them $1 billion. So,
well, five countries. It's more than 5 games.
Sorry,
there's a couple
you're right.
in London. Yeah.
Okay, so it's not because they really just want to increase the fan base on all continents. It's because the NFL is a business like anything else, and they love profits and they love money. I've always thought, hey, just make the Jaguars your European team. Put them in London. Don't put them in Germany or Spain or Brazil. Put them in London and make that the team. The logistics, though, are, you know, and we think about, okay, each NFL team that's going to go over there and play their away game in London, there's the travel that the teams have to go through right now. We know what a pain in the ass it is, the time change, et cetera, et cetera. And people can say, well, yeah, just give them the bye week after they make their London trip. I see that part. But if you're the Jaguars, hey, we have a game in Las Vegas, then we have a home game, and then we have a game in New York against the Jets.
How about L.A.?
Or
How about
LA.
back to LA.
Right.
Yeah.
Because if they're playing the Raiders, they're also going to play another team in the AFC West.
So
you're
you're
going to at least have to come out twice.
But I would see the NFL, the only way the NFL really could do it from a logistics standpoint is, all right, when you guys get to Vegas, you're going to stay there and you're going to go ahead and play the Chargers.
Yeah,
And then
another
you're-
week living in a hotel.
Thank you. And then you're going to shoot up to Seattle, and then you're going to come back. And so you're going to literally have a home team across the pond or in another country really be a visiting team
Yes.
when you think about what they're going to be subject to
You're right.
just because of the stupid travel.
And Roger Goodell wants to increase the amount of games that are played over there. He wants it to every year to be more.
He said at this summit that he attended that he sees in the next couple of years 16 regular season games in not the United States.
And you know, they're
is the best
also
way to say
on
it.
at weird times here.
6
So if you're
a.m.
a fan in
Well,
the
'cause we're on
United
the
States,
West Coast.
Right.
well,
9 a.m.
yes, but I'm saying well, really anywhere though, it's going to be a different time to try and watch a game that you for your team. Now, if it's your team and you're passionate, you're going to get up and watch. But I still think it's you're asking so much now of fans also.
The Raiders are my favorite team. We know that. The times they've played, I've 6 a.m. Whatever. I'm still sleeping one off from Saturday night. So there's that aspect. On the East Coast, it's a little easier, obviously, because it's 9 a.m. Dave, they have tried regular season NFL in Europe, and it didn't work. And I just take it back to NFL Europe.
You're right. It didn't work. And I don't know if it didn't work because they didn't understand the game, or is it because the NFL didn't have their best players there? Like, you always want to see sports played with the best athletes.
Yep.
And if your best aren't over there, are you honestly showing the best product? So you're seeing a bunch of European fans. I'm one of those guys that gets up early and I'll watch every single game. I watch everything. So you're seeing the people wearing the jerseys, right? They're wearing the NFL gear. They're getting into it. It is going back to what she said. I'm surprised the Players Association hasn't done more. That's because the Players Association always gets a former player to represent them. Teams like Major League Baseball get an attorney, the way you're supposed to do it. There should be revenue sharing. As soon as there's revenue sharing in the $1 billion, players are like, I'm in. If you're telling me I make more money by going to play in Brazil than if I were to stay back and play that game in Los Angeles against the Chiefs, it would be different. But that's not what's going on. The NFL, of course, it's all about making money and showcasing. Eventually, the NFL draft will be there. You know, the NFL draft's moving things around. It was in Green Bay this year. That eventually you're going to have the draft in Europe, too. It's just going to become one of those things where he's trying to make it as global as he can. And let's be honest, he hasn't made a lot of mistakes, meaning Roger Goodell, for the fact it is by far the most popular sport in the United States. It has run away with everything.
See, Dave, that's where I draw the line, is when they start taking away the NFL draft. You know, they look what happened. They took the Pro Bowl out of Hawaii.
Yeah.
And granted, Aloha Stadium was falling apart. You're taking your life in your own hands when you went to see the game there. But that was always, hey, we get a trip to Hawaii. That's kind of cool. And it dinged the economy in Honolulu when they did that. Don't take away the NFL draft. Don't put the NFL draft in Europe, because that is a financial boom for those different cities who have done a magnificent job. I mean, look what Green Bay did this past spring for the NFL draft. And when Goodell starts talking in terms of playoffs and or a Super Bowl, somewhere else except these damn here United States, America.
Not have a Super Bowl
That's
in
what.
Europe.
No, you can't. But he talks in terms of it, and I don't know if it's to scare other cities that are thinking of bidding for a Super Bowl, or to have a playoff game, not in that home site for the team that deserves it. That's where I cry BS on the whole thing.
Well, it's funny you brought up even just the postseason, because let's say the Jags were the team that was permanently in London, and all of a sudden they're hosting an AFC playoff game against a team that's on the West Coast. It throws off completely their rhythm.
Yeah.
It's not equal. It's not equal footing to say, look, there's a home field advantage, but this is a major home field advantage. So it becomes frustrating, I think, for us as fans, because we want to see our teams, if they make it to the playoffs, have a chance to make it to a Super Bowl.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, it is completely different. And vice versa, like we just talked about the travel, with the Jags having to go somewhere else. If they have to go back-to-back weeks, travel-wise, or they never get to go home, Roger Goodell, right now, you kind of wonder, everything he has touched has turned to gold. Is he biting off more than he can chew? Is he basically causing more problems than he even anticipates? And I think, as Allison brought up, the players' union, It is horrible. It's horribly run, has always been horribly run. They've always gotten former players to represent them, not attorneys like they do in Major League Baseball. That's the strongest union. And there's not revenue sharing going on, and they don't make it where it's appetizing for the players. And there's so many things right now that NFL, I think, should be concerned about, like the players that are injured, the players, their life expectancy is shorter.
Oh, yeah.
That the NFL seems to turn a blind eye to. When Mike and I were football fans as kids, the average NFL player played 4.5 years. That went down to 3.5. Now that's down to 1.5 years.
Yep. Yeah, pay attention to what means important stuff in the NFL. All right, we all love those pregame and in-game stats from the sports we watch. So just who comes up with all that math that's way above our collective heads? You're going to meet one of the best out there next, right here on Offside Sports.